how's this grapple different from the other ones? So welcome back to the farm, guys. Today's video is sponsored by Camel City Mill, and more on that later. Today's Sawmill Saturday. Let me show you guys what we got going on. We got a brand new grapple here at the mill. So what we're looking at here, friends, is a log grapple for the skid steer. It's made by Max. They sent this over several months ago. I just got behind on getting this thing assembled. And it's kind of unique. It's not your everyday grapple like that Easton made over there. This one right here is a lot different. I know what you guys are thinking, how's this grapple different from the other ones? Well, you guys are going to see here in just a minute. Let's get it assembled and it'll make more sense to you. You guys hang in there. Friends, let me tell you about today's video sponsor, Camel City Mill. Guys, unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably heard about Camel City Mill in the past few months on YouTube. Guys, let me tell you, the rumors are true. They make the best saws around. Nobody compares to their quality. And I know you guys are really going to like this. These saws are 100% USA made in North Carolina with American wool in an American factory. Friends, one of the most important things on me are my feet because I'm on them all day long. I'm wearing work boots for 12 hours a day, and I hate having sweaty feet. And up until just a few months ago, that was something I dealt with every day. They work, they stay up, they don't fall down on you, they wick away sweat, which is my favorite feature because at the end of the day, when I take my boots off, my feet are dry. I've never had that in socks I've worn in the past. Guys, I believe in this product so much, I bring it up to people off camera. So I'm not just telling people on YouTube about it, I'm telling my family and friends, try these socks out, they will change your life. And right now, guys, you can get 10% off your order using my code Out of the Woods. There's a link down in the video description. There's also a link in the top comment. Guys, try these socks out and let me know down in the comments on the next video what you think about it. And I'll tell you what, for you people that are on the fence about this, in the next few videos, go back and read the comments and it may make a believer out of you. These socks are for real. They do what they're supposed to do. Once again, thanks to Camel City for sponsoring today's video. I really appreciate it. Now let's get back to the sawmill. So I'm assuming you guys just figured out what makes this grapple kind of unique. Not only will it open and close, but it also rotates in a circle right there. That's a nice feature right there. That's one of the reasons I was wanting to try this one out. So this grapple has a diverter valve right there, and I still have to run a switch to it so I can switch it over to the other function, which is open and close. But this diverter valve allows you to have two different hydraulic functions on this. One of them is the rotation, the other one is open and close. It looks like I need to tighten up my lines. They're leaking just a little, no big deal though. But in order to use this diverter valve, it's got a plug right there. I have a switch that I'll plug into this, and the other end will go to a battery. Now long term, I'll mount me a switch inside of the Mikado, but for right now, I'll just put a little battery in there and get it going. So let's hook this up so we can see both features real fast. This is pretty nice. This will make cutting firewood logs really easy, and also picking logs out of the log pile really nice. So right here's the switch, guys. One end of it is like a cigarette lighter that goes to your power source. This one plugs into the diverter valve, and this right here, of course, you keep in the cab to go back and forth on your functions. Works pretty good, and once I get this figured out, like I said, I'll probably wire switch, a permanent one, inside Mr. Cotto right there. For right now, just so we can get going, we're going to use this little lawnmower battery, and I have a female cigarette lighter hooked up to it right there, the same kind of plug-in. I'm not sure what those are called. I just call them cigarette lighter plug-ins, but I'm sure there's a more technical name than that. For right now, we'll just put this battery in the floorboard. And later on, like I said, a good shop project, we'll do a permanent connection. All right, friends, my first impressions, I like it, but it's going to need a few modifications sooner than later. Grease fittings is a very small issue, but it's an issue. There's a grease fitting right there, but the hydraulic line is right there in the way. But I do have a hole right there. Maybe I can thread a zert in right there. And this one right here, which is another pivot point for movement, there's no grease fitting on either side. I'm not sure if I can just spray some stuff in there or I need to drill one out. What do you guys think right there? I'll probably be better off drilling it out and putting a grease zert in there. And over here on the other side, it's the same thing. That fitting is right under that hose and nothing right there. And lastly, you guys didn't see this, but the connection point where Mr. Cotto hooks onto this attachment was really tight. I'll probably take a grinder and get in there and clean that up a little bit and get the paint off of it, maybe remove some material so those arms go down a lot easier. They're pretty tight right there, and if you're not sure what I'm talking about, it's that part right there. On the skid steer, there's a rod that goes straight down, and that's what connects your attachment to the machine. It's just too tight on that auger, my goodness. It's just too tight on the grapple. I can't talk today, look over me. As far as the specs go, this will handle 3,000 pounds. It weighs 600 pounds. And I'll put the camera down and measure this opening right here because it's pretty good size. That's probably 36 inches, maybe bigger. Let's see here. We're looking at about, if you guys will hold that over, I'd appreciate it. Wow, 43 inches right there. And at the very bottom, it's a little bit tighter. And that's going to be 44 actually, huh. The big question is, how much does it cost? I just looked on their website. This is about $3,500 and they do have them in stock. I don't make nothing if you buy it, guys, but there's a link down below in the video description. If you're interested in it, I'd go take a look. On the sawmill, friends, we got an 8-foot white pine. It's not the biggest log in the world. Let's see if I can do this without dropping the camera. 15 inches, not too bad. Got some knot clusters. Probably came from somebody's yard. Pretty sure I got this from a tree service. We're doing 2x4s. I'm still working on this pallet of 2x4s over here. As soon as I get myself about 1,000 feet of 2x4s, we're going to send these through the kiln, then through the molder, and build our own pallets with these. This is how I'm getting rid of some of my pine logs that I've had for way too long. Should be a decent log. It doesn't look too bad. I've seen a whole lot worse. On the sawmill, Maine Silvertip Turbo 7. Guys, if you want to try those saw blades, call Maine. His cell phone number is always down in the video description. I'll tell you what, guys, we're getting a pretty good pile of 2x4s right there. And I tell you what, I enjoy sawing dimensional lumber. That's been pretty relaxing, to be honest with you. We got about 3 layers, I think, actually just over 3 layers. Like I said, as soon as we have about maybe 800 to 1,000 board feet, we'll put this in the kiln, braid it out, run it through the molder, and have ourselves some nice 2x4s to build these pallets out of. Actually, the same kind of pallets that this stuff's stacked on. A good use for this pine, guys. I couldn't really come up with what to do with all this pine. I think I have maybe 8,000 to 10,000 board feet on hand, and this will get rid of it pretty fast.